Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us in this video. I hope you're having a wonderful time wherever you are. So in this particular video, I'm going to be interviewing Mr. Ricardo, who, thanks to his whole effort, he has been able to influence other people in positive way. He has been able to help them to advance also in their course so that they can then extend it to other people. And so in this video, he's going to be sharing with us what he does and how he has been able to influence other people. So a little bit of his background and all that. Okay, Mr. Ricardo, thank you for the time that you have dedicated to respond to some of my questions in this interview. So let's start from the people who do not know you. What would you say about yourself?
You know, I grew up the only child. I had a lot of health issues when I was young. You know, I had real bad asthma. I was asthmatic, and so being in the hospital a lot when I was young, it made me kind of value, the small things in life, and it just kind of like rubbed off on me a lot. So, I just always been a giver, always been very ambitious person. What I do when I, go out and do stuff for the community, or when I was, traveling abroad to do a lot of things.
Oh, thank you very much for that, dear Ricardo. Now, is it possible that your decision to help other people, to sort of impart other people, come from the background that come from the fact that you come from a kind of a difficult background, that when you were born you have this kind of difficulty, so you now understand that okay, this is your way of also making impact in the life of other people to help them because they might have also passed through a kind of difficult childhood or things like that?
I think that's where it comes from. Like I said, I really think that when you grow up a certain way and you see a lot of trials and tribulations that, your family and your mom, what you go through in life, I feel like it should put a soft spot in your heart to really want to give back and help and, be a leader in your community and give kids an opportunity that you've been through. Like, I was the first person in my family to actually graduate college. So, right now I have a 17-year-old son and a daughter, 14, and they have a responsibility now to go to college. I just think, you go through a lot in your life, but along the way, it has to be someone to break the generation curse.
All right, great. That is fantastic. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the state of Georgia where you are, and at least for some person who have never been there, for somebody who do not know where you are, what do you say about Georgia?
I'm originally from Washington, D.C., but I actually live in Atlanta, Georgia now. Atlanta, Georgia is really, they call it Black Hollywood. It's so many different cultures here. It's really a huge African-American community. It's huge in business for African Americans. I think this place is probably a place where if you want an opportunity or you want to network, I think it's a great place. I mean, they have a huge airport here. That's an international hub where you can actually fly direct to certain places. And it's a culture. I mean, a lot of things going on all the time. So you see celebrities all the time here, but you also have people that's giving back and helping in the community a lot. And for me, that's huge, a huge asset to have, and somewhere where you live.
Right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Now, for some individuals out there who are listening to you now, and I'm sort of wondering what exactly you do to help people, to empower the people, to empower the young people. So what would be your answer? I mean, what would you tell them?
To me, it's about setting an example. One of the things that, me and Larissa and our other partner, LeVar Arrington, we have something called the Complete Athlete. And what the Complete Athlete is basically helping that family and helping that athlete, as a whole. A lot of kids and a lot of families, they don't really have any structure and know exactly, how to navigate. Some of the things that we're doing with Complete Athletes, teaching a kid how to start a nonprofit organization, teaching families financial literacy. When I was growing up, we never had, any program like that. And I think it's like I say, it's about breaking the generation curse.
All right. Thank you again for that. Like Ricardo, in this channel, we talk about leadership. We talk about people who are making impact in the life for other people. in terms of trying to restitute to other people, to the community. So how would you define a leader? What would you say leadership mean to you? How would you describe it in your own way?
I think it's more about the work you put in. I think, it's all like one thing that I realized about being a leader is you following through and really showing that you care about people. I mean, I think there's a lot of nonprofit organizations all around the country and people do a lot of stuff. But as long as you show people that you are sincere and you go we call it the trenches. You have to go in the trenches here in certain communities. Like they have to see your face. You have to show up. You have to come around. And I think, if you do it enough times, people can really see that you really care, and it's not like for publicity. And I think that's the biggest thing with a lot of people that claim they want to help kids or help the African American community. It's more about, it really have to be about you actually going in. You have programs. You helping people during time of need. Like, that's what people value in the communities here.
Okay, now I understand that the people that you are helping, you are empowering, and not all in the United States. Sometimes you also get the people from Africa and help them to improve themselves so that they can also help other persons. So can you like share a little bit light into this, like help me understand this a little bit better?
I think 2011, 2012, I had an idea that I wanted to actually go to Africa and to different places around the world and teach kids how to play American football. I just felt like it definitely was an opportunity that I didn't want to let die. I actually wanted to go, to Africa my whole life, and I used an opportunity, to work with a foundation to actually go over to Nigeria and start helping kids abroad and teaching them football. And what I did, I would actually run football camps, and I would, try to target certain kids that I think that can come over and play American football. And I had friends that was high school coaches here in the U.S., and I kind of convinced them that they should give these kids an opportunity. It worked. I think we had a total of probably 11 or 12 kids that we brought over. All of them graduated from universities. A lot of them was very successful master's degrees, and even for we talk about generation curses. Imagine what that'll do. What type of generation curse that it takes for a kid from Africa. How does that change the course of his life and his family?
Okay, now I'm a little bit curious. In the course of this interview, you have made mention of generational curse or breaking generational curse for to like 2 or 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. Can you like expatiate a little bit? What do you actually mean by breaking generational curse?
When I say generational curse, it means with you and your family, with your grandparents, your grandmom, your mom, your dad, they may not have learned or had the opportunity that you had. But when I say break the generational curse, is my parents may not have learned a lot of things, far as doing a lot of stuff in the community, far as going to college, far as, setting up an LLC and doing different business ventures. That type of stuff wasn't learned. A lot of times, when our parents was growing up, it was about, working in the government and going to the military. Like we didn't have, classes on real estate or, online college.
All right, that was fantastic. Really, really great. Thank you for that. You are doing this work because you believe in it, because you have a lot of strong passion for it, and also because you believe that it is a good thing to help other people. What is your satisfaction at the end of the day?
Man, the satisfaction that I get is when I see kids, especially when when we start talking about Africa. I think you get a certain type of feeling when you see a kid who didn't have hope or didn't have a chance, and then you see a kid who graduate from college here in the U.S. I mean, the joy and satisfaction you get when you see that is it's a feeling that I don't think, unless you are a part of a program or you're a part of something that's giving back at that level, it's a feeling that you just can't describe. It's about setting a legacy. You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff is a legacy play for me.
Thank you very much for that, Ricardo. Now, I'm trying to see if there is any lesson you can tell me that you have learned throughout this year that you'll be following this project, helping people, empowering them, and making your own contribution in your community. Because that is going to be very important for the people that are watching you now, so that they can take away from your experience, right? Because this is what you have learned and it remains part of you. Can you like share with me what is the lesson that you have learned?
What I've learned during the time period of really going abroad, helping people is, is life is bigger than you. Like it's so many ways that you just got to kind of get out and you're gonna go through. It's gonna be a lot of up and downs. The lessons that I learned, one of the biggest lessons, that I learned was you may have great intentions for certain things that you're doing, but some people may not. And
So, like I said before, in this channel, we are trying to learn from one another. That is the basis for the interview, in that I'm sharing your experience so that other people can learn from you. Now, from other people like you who probably are in a position to extend the hand of fellowship to other persons who are able to help, contribute, maybe using their time, using their money to help other persons, maybe do not know how to go about it. How do you think that they should be able to go about it so that they can also help other persons to be on their feet? I mean, what kind of advice would you give them?
what I would say is ask for help. Like talk to people. Don't be afraid to. If you have an idea, don't be afraid. It's no stupid idea. Um, talk to as many people as possible, and as long as you keep pushing, you'll it's like the law of attraction. You'll end up meeting the right people in this place and this place and this place to really connect all the dots. I think that's the most important thing is when you first get started, don't think your idea is too stupid. And I think that's the biggest thing for people is the fear, like the fear of something not working. If you just start it, eventually it'll all start to kind of make a little bit of sense, and you'll start naturally connecting with the right people along the way. And like I say, if you don't give up in the middle, it may get rough, but if you keep pushing, the right person to come for this, or come for this, or come for it, all kind of connect.
All right. Thank you very much, Ricardo. I really appreciate the time that you have spent to respond to these questions and also share your personal experience or how you are making impact in the life of the people and your community. Now, to conclude this interview, I would like you to maybe leave a message for the people that are watching you now. So go ahead and leave them with a message.
First of all, I appreciate you interviewing me. I think this is awesome, and I think it's something that's really, really awesome platform that you're doing, because I think, like you say, it gives other people, once they hear other stories, it gives them a motivation to say that, they can do it too. So, definitely want to thank you for doing this interview with me. I just think, for people that's listening and people, that's tuning in and listening to these interviews, people need help. You know what I mean? Like people really need help in this world, in your communities. You may feel like that you don't have a lot, but it's also always somebody that don't have as much as you, and you can help them. The biggest thing in this world is our youth. Our youth, they need more guidance than anything right now. It's a lot of things going on. I mean, if we look at what's happening with the president that just we had, and how a lot of things are divided, and how just render your services, you know what I mean? Because it really can, you never know how you can change and inspire a kid by just talking to them.
Thank you, viewer, for having accompanied us to the end of this video. I really appreciate your time because probably you could have been doing some other thing, but you believe that you will be able to learn something new in this interview, so you decide to spend some time with it. I believe that you have learned something new in today's experience, listening to Ricardo and what he's doing to empower other people, bringing in some people from Nigeria and helping them to stand on their feet. All right, until I come your way again, Ademen Obey Ewanfo. Bye for now.